I went from a skinny 130-pound guy, had zero muscle, very, very skinny, to this in 6 years. And here's how I did it. This is how you build muscle for beginners naturally. I'm gonna walk you through, give you a step-by-step process of how I did it in 6 years, going from a skinny guy, had zero muscle, couldn't even bench press one plate, to 6 years later, being far stronger, far heavier. I've gained some serious pounds of muscle in 6 years of training naturally, and I wanna walk you through that process. All right, the first step, I'm gonna break this down in 3 steps, okay? The first step, if you're a beginner just starting out and you need help and you're not sure of what to do, here's the first step you need to do to start building muscle naturally. I'm gonna put it on this whiteboard. Excuse my handwriting isn't great, I do apologize. I'm gonna put it down here on this whiteboard. This is the first thing you need to do. This is taking a while, I do apologize. Compound lifts. You need to focus on the compound lifts. The first thing you need to do is, training-wise, is focus on the compound lifts. The squat, the deadlift, and the incline bench. Incline bench instead of the flat bench because of the benefits for the upper chest. You don't really want to do much flat work. For me, focus on doing the incline bench. Focus on doing the compound lifts and progressively overloading, getting stronger on the compound lifts, trying to add a little bit of weight to the key compound lifts week by week. And that's how you're gonna add muscle. That's how you're gonna get bigger legs. That's how you're gonna get a bigger back, a bigger chest. You increase your deadlift, you're gonna have a bigger back. You increase your squat, you're gonna have bigger legs. Incline bench, you're gonna increase your chest size, your chest mass. Focus on those key compound lifts. That's how I did it. That's the main way I did it. When I first started training was I focused on getting stronger on those key compound lifts, really adding strength to those over the course of many years. Let me show you an example session. Let's say you're training chest. This is how I would set up a chest day, for instance, okay? So let's say you're training chest. This is your average typical chest day. It's chest day, it's Monday, International Chest Day. This is how I would set up a session, okay? So chest. You want to start with incline bench. Do 5 sets of 5, do a 5 by 5, okay? 5 sets of 5 on incline bench. That's your heavy compound movement. Go lower rep on the compounds. I like to say 4 to 8 reps. Do a 5 by 5, typical 5 by 5. Get as strong as you can on that 5 by 5 as your first exercise and progress that movement week after week. After that first exercise, we're gonna do some accessory movements which come after your compound lifts. You wanna do a main compound, and then after you've done the main compound, do a few accessory movements afterwards. Hang on a second. Can you turn that down, please? Can you turn that down? Please, I'm filming. Apologies. Okay, the second movement you wanna do is incline dumbbell press, okay? You want to do incline dumbbell press 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. Get more volume in. Dumbbells are, for me, are better for overall muscle growth. Incline bench is more for strength. Obviously works the upper chest as well, great for muscle growth too, but incline dumbbell press gives you greater isolation of really working the upper chest and adding mass to your chest. That would be your second movement. Your third movement would be some kind of fly movement. Let's say a pec deck. Pec deck, 3 sets of 12. Then do 3 sets of 12 on the pec deck as an accessory movement to work your chest, incorporate some fly movements. And then maybe you could finish with push-ups. 3 sets of 10 on push-ups to finish, or just go straight to failure. That would be a workout. 4 exercises, your heavy compound, an accessory incline dumbbells, then pec deck for flies, and then finishing with push-ups as a burnout movement. All you need is those 4 exercises. Okay, when you're first starting training, you don't need to do a crazy amount of volume. You don't need to be doing 5, 6, 7, 8 exercises. You see all these guys on social media, these IFBB pros, doing a crazy amount of exercises. They've been training for 10 plus years, decades and decades. You don't need to do that many exercises. When you've never been exposed to any kind of stimulus before, you really don't need to do that many exercises to grow. When you're first starting out, you really don't need that much volume. So this is how you would do a typical chest session. This kind of structure, a heavy compound movement, then go on to an accessory, then some fly movements, and then that's all you need really to grow muscle. That would be a typical average session. For chest, for legs, you do something like a squat, then maybe move on to a leg press, then do some seated hamstring curls, then finish with calves. You don't need that much volume. That is how you structure a session. Compound movements, then accessories, okay? That's the first thing you need to do when it comes to training. Now let's move on to number 2, the second thing you need to do to go from a beginner with no muscle to building a lot of muscle mass. Where's my cloth? There it is. This is the second thing you need to do. Very, very simple. This one's very simple. You ready? Eat, 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 eat. And then eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And after you've eaten, I want you to eat, 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 and eat. And then after you've done that, I want you to eat more and eat more and eat more and eat more. As the great Brian Shaw says, when you're full, that's when the game starts. Start eating. You have to eat. Guys, if you're a skinny little guy like I was when you first start going to the gym, first start gymming, training's important, but nutrition is 80% of the battle. You have to eat, you have to force feed. A lot of you guys don't have big appetites. You're gonna have to really sit down at the table and just force feed. Keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. It's gonna be difficult, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be painful, but you have to do it if you wanna gain muscle mass. It's just part of the game, okay? It's gonna be difficult, but you have to do it. You have to be in a caloric surplus, I would say, for at least a year. When you first start training, you want to be in a caloric surplus for at least a year. You're not going to gain any muscle cutting, being in a caloric deficit. A caloric surplus means you're eating more calories than your caloric expenditure. You're eating more calories than you burn. It's that simplistic. You have to be in a muscle gaining phase where you're eating more calories, you're in a caloric surplus, you're gaining muscle mass, and you're gaining weight. You're not going to gain any muscle if you're not gaining weight. It's that simplistic. So you have to spend at least the first year of your lifting career really sitting down at the table, really force feeding, eating a high amount of protein, at least 1 pound of protein per pound of body weight. You want to eat a lot more carbs than you eat protein and have some good decent fats in there as well. Eat. Track calories. But when you're a beginner, you don't really, to be honest, you don't really even need to track calories. Just eat. Eat 4 to 5 really big meals a day and really push your body weight up. If you're not gaining weight, it is literally impossible to gain muscle if you're a natural. Impossible. You have to be gaining weight. That first year of lifting, just eat. Really force feed, really push the food. It's that simplistic. Okay? Number 3. The last and final thing you need to do to build muscle naturally, if you want to go from a skinny guy to a guy that's added some serious muscle mass. This is what you have to do. Ready? Recover, okay? You need to sleep, get at least 8 hours of sleep in. You need to be making sure you have rest days. Again, guys, you don't need to be training every single day of the week. A lot of these beginners think, oh, I should be in the gym. I've got to be in the gym 3 hours every day. No, you don't. You should have at least 2 rest days a week. Resting more is going to do a lot more for you than training every day. More is less, guys. Remember that, people. More is less. You don't need to be in the gym every single day, especially if you're a beginner. You need at least 2 rest days a week, maybe 3, maybe even 4. You could get away with going to the gym 3 times a week, doing push-pull legs, just 3 sessions a week, and you'd gain a lot of muscle because you're a beginner. You don't need that much stimulus, as I said before, to grow. Make sure you're sleeping, make sure you're drinking lots of water, make sure you're getting your food in, make sure you're recovering and you're resting, and and you're not overtraining. A lot of beginners have it in their mind, I've got to be in the gym every single second, I've got to be in the gym for hours and hours. No, you don't. You don't need to be in the gym for that long, okay? You really don't. Make sure you rest, you recover. More is less, people. All right, guys, those are the 3 things you need to do to go from a skinny little guy like I was to someone who's put on a decent amount of muscle mass. I weigh about 200 pounds right now, gained 70 pounds in 6 years. If you really want to improve, you've got to do those 3 things. Train, compound lifts, then accessories. Number 2, eat, 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 and eat. And number 3, recover properly. If you do those 3 things, you are guaranteed to improve and gain muscle mass if you stay consistent. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Nick Hijazi, the founder of the Mendez Cartel. Stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My name on those platforms is Nick_Hijazi. I'll put that in the description. And as always, long live King Charles III and God bless Sir Winston Churchill.